Okay, thank you. The next stage we're going to be looking at with this product is how to label it correctly and prepare it for an isometric view, but also a set of engineering drawings. Now there's our isometric view, our front view. Go back to isometric view, the right hand view, back again, top view. So you just get an idea of how your product is going to sit. Okay, that's because we chose the correct work plane from the initial build. So I'm just going to close down my sketches here, just turn them off. Right, so now we've got right hand side. What I can also do with this, I can click on properties. Okay, so the right hand side, if you look at the properties here, you can see that I've got a description. Now in here I can just type in 17 millimeter plane MDF painted. Sorry, painted. So we know that it's been painted. Okay. Okay, and that product was the right hand side. Okay. Now we know, and the material, it's not steel. We have to make sure that that material is MDF because it defaults as steel. Okay, so if I go down here and I right click on that, the right hand side, and if you look, we had properties, appearance, okay, or physical material, sorry. We just need to make sure that the physical material is correct. Okay, so we're going to go for wood and MDF, right? Because it needs to know what type of material that is. Okay, so we repeat that for the left hand side. Right click, we can put properties on the left hand side. Again, like it's defaulted to material, steel, and we'll just type in there 17 millimeter plane MDF. Okay, and again, that is painted. So you know when you read the drawing, it's got the correct material, it has the right description of what it is. That's important. Okay, so I'm going to close that down. Just close those properties down. I'm just going to go back over here and make sure that the left hand side, if I right click on it, click on that button there, right click, physical appearance. Just wait for this to load up. And I go down to wood and it's MDF. Okay, close. So that will now be set. I'd have to repeat the same process for right hand side, left hand side, and so on. So at the top, the base, the back, the shelving. All right, and you'll see that in a minute. Okay. Okay, so now that each component is clearly labelled, then we've got an understanding of colour schemes, varnish, is it being varnished, painted, the type of material. Now, to make a drawing, we do this. Okay, we go back into design. If you look at the window here, the drop-down menu, you've got design, render, animation, simulation, manufacture, drawing. Now, you can go drawing from design. Okay, and over here on the right-hand side, you've got another menu with the drop-down menu saying drawing. We leave that as it is. Template from scratch, standard ISO, units millimeters, and the sheet size is A3, which is 420 by 297 millimeters. So we click OK. So just wait, and then this happens. Okay, we've just got to wait for the computer to process it. Shouldn't take too long. Come on, should be done by now. Here it is. Anyway, so that just takes time because it's got to process all the different sides. Now it's got a scale here of 1 to 10. I'm going to change mine to 1 to 5 to see what that looks like. Perfect. And I drop that onto my model window. I then right click, projected view. Okay. And I do another one here. And another one here. Okay, or I could just go, let's have a look, let's get the right view. I want my view on that side, so click OK. I can move this one across to here. Alright, I'm going to delete this part of the drawing here, so I'm going to delete that. That looks a bit on the large side. Let's move that up. Okay, so now I've got this set up. I just want to check my scale. I'm going to go back to the 1 to 10. Well, sorry, let's just see what 1 to 8 looks like first. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so this one, right click, edit view, 1 to 8. Good. Now the larger one, I just edit view, just this one here. I want to change that back to 1 to 5. Whoop, 1 to 5. Perfect. So what I've got now, I've got 3 drawings. I can just bring these a little bit closer together. Move that one up slightly, that one across slightly. I can then move my big one up to the top here. Now what I can do is something really spectacular. Okay, so I can click on table and I can go parts list. Okay, so I bring the table down to this corner and just dump it in there. So now, if you'd notice, it's automatically labelled all of my components, because if you remember, we labelled these before. All you have to do is just rearrange some of these numbers so it looks a bit neater. Okay, like so. So that now is part of the labelling process. What we tend to do as well, you can then add dimensions, like so. Click on that, 500. And if you look now, the values are perfect, 500. Now the inside is 566, 58, 566, look. I can do the outside, or I can even know my thickness of material. So I've got 17. Okay, so this is really, really useful using your labels. Okay, so that's part of that. I can also right click on this drawing. If you look here now, I can edit view, this one, and I could render it with the original color scheme. Okay, and it should show the internal views as well, so you can see inside the product. Alright, now I'm a little bit pedantic. I like to sort of make sure that everything is organized nicely. Okay, so now you can see we've got all of our internals. If you just want to go plain, I can just leave it plain. Similarly, I'm going to close that down. Over here, I'm just going to move this down a little bit because it looks a bit scruffy. Okay, I could even bring my drawing down to this. That looks better. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. So you've got like a nice view. I can also I can look at creating with the dimensions. I can zoom in. So if I go to dimensions, look, you can see here we've got detail view. So with detail view, I could go for a detail view. So what I have to do there is, if I look at this point, I select a corner, this one, and I can just pull that out like so. Be far enough. Then I can project my detail view to here. And what that's going to signify is my joint. So I go to dimensions and I can click on there, and that's the 17mm joint there. I can also include some text. Let me show you here. Okay, so here I can put front view, front elevation. Okay, I can just drag that out a little bit. Front elevation. Then here. Now this is the, if you look at that now, that's the front. And if I can't see the front, what I can do is edit view, just because it looks a bit confusing. I may want to look inside. So that's the front elevation. Well, technically in my book I would call that the side elevation, right? But again, that's how we drew the item on the plane. If I click some more text on here, text note down here, I'll go plan elevation. Don't call it bird's eye view. All right. This one here, if we look at that one, that is the side elevation. In fact, I would call that the front. So I'm going to change that one to side. Okay. Side elevation. That's as if we're looking on this face here. Now this one, if I click text, just here, I can call that one front elevation. Okay, and you can move that around to get in the center. This over here, text. I put a note on this one. I'll select the edge, and this is what we call isometric view. Okay. Now what I might put on here, I might add a text, another note onto here, like so, and I'm going to put 17mm MDF, and I'm going to put on here biscuit joint used. Okay, so I've got an idea. Sorry, just watch out for that. Biscuit, I've done it again. Biscuit joint. So now I've got an idea of the type of joining method. Okay, I got shelving, 70mm plane with the interlock, main body. Okay, left hand side. Now the main body is the whole category. Left hand side, 70mm MDF painted. It's detailed. Okay, can you see that? The only one that's missing is the main body oak white. I'd have to go back and change that. And the most important thing that we do, text note, is give it a title. Engineering just make sure that's right, engineering drawing. Right. And that's it. And what I would then do is probably export that to a PDF. Okay. That would be ideal. You could have done we could have done another parts view down here. But again, from that information, we've got an idea of the material. You could even add in the shelving, for example, MDF interlock. You could give the process, CNC machined. The left-hand side, plain MDF painted, fitted with a housing joint, right? Or sorry, fitted with a biscuit joint. Right-hand side, plain MDF painted, fitted with a dowel joint. So you've got a description. And there's a lot of information on there that you can use. Okay? So when you go to manufacture, when you put this into your portfolio, you've got a side elevation, front elevation, plan elevation, isometric view, some detail, and basically the exam board are going to say, can we manufacture this product from a drawing? And the answer is yes. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Catch you later.